It's live now. So now we're going to do. Check your mic. You check your mic, bro.
Testing the microphone. Testing mic. Working?
Cool. Okay. Yeah, so first and foremost, we want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son.
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash.
Double honor to the apostles of the great no stone. They taught us the truth, and to include the elder bishops on down as well. All right, and salute all of you brothers, as well as we should believe that we're the hopeful elect, 144,000, and unto those that follow. Who is the elect? All right, who is the rest of the elect, the 1/3? So what we want to do is we want to get into 2nd Ezra chapter 3, verse 1 to verse 16, and we're going to get another precept. And Lord willing, at the end of all of this is edifying. So let's come on with it, my brother.
Did you say 2nd Ezra 3?
Yeah, 2nd Ezra 3. Make sure you put this over your neck too.
Water. That will hold it.
Make sure it's all comfortable to you as well.
Right. So, 2nd Ezra 3, Brother Kushal, which one?
Yeah, verse 1 to verse 15.
Huh.
The Lord willing, you can hear this real good with the mic. And this is kind of different, man. We got two mics working at the same time.
Right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 3, starting from 1 to 15, yeah?
Yep.
So 2nd Ezra 3, verse 1. In the 13th year after the ruin of the city, I was in Babylon and lay troubled upon my bed, and my thoughts came up over my heart. For I saw the desolation of Zion and the wealth of them that dwelt at Babylon. And my spirit was sore moved, so that I began to speak words full of fear to the Most High, and said, O Lord, who bearest rule, thou speakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone and commandest the people, and gavest a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of thine hands, and did breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made a living being before thee.
And that breath of life was knowing, of course, knowing what they had known, which was the knowledge of good. That was the official or the first kind of knowledge that they ever known. But then, as well as time went, when Eve was on the scene, what happened? Eve was beguiled by the serpent, and they both took on the wisdom and knowledge of good in them. So that was the breath of life. The breath of life was the knowledge of good. All right. And so that same spirit has, of course, returned back to the saints. When you read the book of Ezekiel, 37, right, where it talks about how the bones came together in the sinews and all of that stuff, and then within that body, you had inside of that body was considered the same breath, which is basically really the spirit of life, the Holy Spirit, to be more exact. So that's what the breath of life was from the beginning of time to Adam, which Adam in this case came from the chosen sect of the Adamites, because you had those that were outside of the chosen, as well as you have right now, which were known as the sons of men and the sons of the wicked one. So among the chosen, you had a man that the Most High was, occupied with, which was Adam. Okay, and it was him that had the breath of life. Go on, brother.
Verse 6. And thou leadest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted.
Yeah, and paradise just means a park. It means because when you look at the earth is supposed to be this ginormous park, a beautiful park. That's why when you go and read the book of Genesis, it directs you eastward, and it says eastward in Eden. Okay, so Eden is just the name of the planet Earth, which means a paradise. So the Lord created a paradise. Go on, brother.
And thou leadest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted
Yeah.
before ever the earth came forward. And unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way, which he transgressed. And immediately thou appointed his death in him and in his generations.
Right. And immediately you appointed his death unto him. Because when you transgress, what is that? The wages of sin is death, right?
Yeah, for sin is transgression of the law.
Yep. And that the wages of sin is death. Go on.
Thou appointedest death in him and in his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number. And every people walked after their own will, and did wonderful things before thee, and despised thy commandments. And again, in the process of time, thou broughtest the flood upon those that dwelt in the world, and destroyedst them.
Yeah, because during that time, wickedness waxed great. If you could pull me at, brother, Baba Pushab, you know where that's at to be exact.
Is it Genesis 6?
I think it's in somewhere like that. Yeah. Yeah, Genesis 6. Because during that time period, once again, people were doing whatever they wanted to do, and they was, we don't really know to be exact, but Moses knew at the time because the records were opened up to him.
I think I've got it. This is Genesis 6 and verse 5. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
Right, and it grieved him at his heart. So all men, and I believe primarily in this case the sons of God, because I mean, come on, if the other nations do evil and wickedness, yeah, that's going to upset the Most High to a degree, but for the most part, it's going to upset the Most High because the sons of God were supposed to be occupied in righteousness. All right. So because of that, everybody was wicked. Wickedness waxed great, and that's the reason why the flood came to get rid of all of those people at the time, which was the first step. All right, go on.
Verse 6, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
And it repented me that I've made it. And how did it? And how was that the case? What the Lord did delivered Noah and his
Three sons.
Yeah, his 3 sons,
4 wives,
and then the 4 wives. So altogether, that's 8 that was delivered, and then you had the creatures that were delivered. And out of all of these came the repopulation once again. So it repented of the Most High to use the remnant to rebuild the rest of the life of the living, to repopulate the life of the living, so to speak. Go on.
Verse 8, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with the Most High. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence.
Yeah, so even yet still, because you got to remember, the same generation that perished out of the flood is the generation which came back to do the same amount of wickedness. So now what's going to be the next way how the Lord is going to get rid of all of this evil and wickedness? You're using the agent of fire. That's why from time to time you have what is called the rainbow that I saw when I was here before. You saw too, which is to commemorate that the Lord will not flood the earth again. All right, but this time is going to be what? With fire. That's going to be the next way how the Lord is going to show his indignation, this time on the spectrum. Go
on. And the earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth.
All flesh had corrupted all of his ways upon the earth. Go on.
And the Most High said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
Right. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Go on.
Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark.
Oh, you're still in Genesis 6.
Yes, I'll go back to second as 3, yeah?
Yeah. And that's what happened too. Because when that flood came, right, the flood came from you had, what is it? You had the dew which came from heaven, and then you had the waters which came under the earth. So that's how the Most High got rid of their ass, man, and brought them to become a part of the earth. They disintegrated back to the earth. As you have it, like when a body is being, as what you call, decomposed. That's what happened. Your body turns back to the earth whence it came.
Back in 2 Ezra 3, picking up again from verse 6. And thou leadest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted, before ever the earth came forward. And unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way, which he transgressed. And immediately thou appointedest death in him and in his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number. And every people walked after their own will, and did wonderful things before thee, and despised thy commandments. And again, in the process of time, thou broughtest the flood upon those that dwelt in the world, and destroyedst them. And it came to pass in every of them, that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to these.
Right, so was the flood to these. And why? Because there was a heart that they had, and it wasn't the heart, of course, of righteousness, which we're going to get during the new covenant. So from that time period, and this is how you know that the Most High already knew from day one. This is that the Israelites would actually, of course, or the sons of God, have you will continue to be as wicked as they were going to be. It was already set up. But like I said, I don't want to jump the gun. I'm going to get back to me saying those words again. All right, so I don't want to do that. Yeah. So
verse 11.
Yeah, verse 11. Go on.
The 2 Ezra 3, verse 11. Nevertheless, one of them thou leftest, namely Noah, with his household, of whom came all righteous men. And it happened that when they that dwelt upon the earth began to multiply, and had gotten them many children, and were a great people, they began again to be more ungodly.
Right. And that's the point. They began again to be more ungodly. So the 3 sons that survived the flood, their descendants became more ungodly. And even, of course, even the chosen became ungodly. So this was a time when the Adamites became, let me say it. This was the time when the Adamites were giving a name. Like for example, you had who was called Peleg, and who else?
Eber.
Yeah, you had Eber, and all of the rest of their descendants. They were named, but prior before then, the Adamites were not even named at the time. All right, but what we do know is that during that time, prior before the names were listed or declared, so to speak, it was already but it was already known that you had the chosen among the Adamites, and you had those that were just the sons of men, and then you had the sons of the wicked one. So now we know up front, based on name, who's who. All right, go on.
Khan, I think that was in Genesis 10 and 11. The Most High named the nations, like he set up Elam, and Elam came from Shem, but Asher, Aram, all these different nations. They were all named from Genesis 10 to Genesis 11, I believe. So that was after the flood, yeah.
And as well as you mentioned, see Genesis chapter 10. That's why it's known as the Table of Nations. Going on, I just want to mention that.
So this is verse 12, and it happened that when they that dwelt upon the earth began to multiply, and had gotten them many children, and were a great people, they began again to be more ungodly than at the first.
Right, than at the first. Go on.
Now, when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name was Abraham.
Right.
Him thou lovest, and only, him thou lovest, and unto him only thou shewedst thy will, and madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed.
Right, and there you go. So right there conveys the point that the Lord would have never forsaken his seed, because the seed is of the promises of that covenant. And who is the seed, to be more precise? Jacob and his descendants, which would be the 12 patriarchs. All right. So when we tell you that the Lord is only concerned with the Israelites, we ain't telling you because we made this up. We telling you because this is what's written. Bible prophecy says that there's a nation of people who the Lord has chosen, and everybody else he don't care for. And we got priests to prove that out. All right. So when you look at these pastors and these Roman Catholics and all of these various people, primarily focusing on the Christian church, though, the reason why they teach the way that they teach, could it be because they're ignorant of them not knowing that the Lord chose one people? Yeah, it could possibly be that. But for the most part, nowadays, we're in the year 2026. Everybody knows about the Israelites. And certain these pastors, to a degree, do know the truth. All right? And they know that the Lord only chose one people. But they have to teach the way that they teach, because it's a way of them making money. They got to pocket a lot of money. So if you got a lot of nations coming in your organization, your churches, again, you pocketing a lot of money. Some money get up. That's all it is.
Precept.
Go on, my brother.
This is 2 Ezra 6, verse 54.
I knew you were gonna go forward that. I knew that was coming. Go on.
And after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him came we all.
Right, of him came we all. Right? Go on.
And the people whom also thou hast chosen, all this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Right, because thou hast made this the world for our sake. So that's telling you who is the us. The us is referring to one nation, the nation of Israel, which happens to be us, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We are the people. So he made this whole entire planet Earth for us. Now, when you go all the way back to the time of the sons of God, primarily focusing on Adam and Eve, what did it say? It said that the Lord planted them eastward in Eden. And when you read Genesis 1, it talks about how that the Adamites will rule everything. They will rule over the animals and everything therein. So those same people would be reincarnated as the Israelites to rule everything once again. So this earth, this whole entire earth, since the beginning of time, has been always promised unto us. This is how we're going to be blessed. We're going to be blessed because everything is going to be converted unto us. All right? Go
on. Verse 56. As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and as liken the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Right. So he likens the other nations that falleth from that as a drop of a bucket that falleth from the vessel. So if you got, like I always like to use this analogy, right? If you got a big jug of water and that shit is heavy too, and then you got some drippings that fall out of it, the drippings is the other nation. That's how the Lord views the other nation. Okay? And that's another thing. So these Christian churches have exhorted this pseudo notion that these nations can also get to be a part of the salvation of the Lord, and that now they can pride themselves involved in it. Pride themselves in it. No. According to the Bible, officially, the Lord don't really care about these nations. These nations were created to give us hell, and if not that, also make us look pretty in the future when we're ruling over it. That's why these nations were created. And that's out of the Holy Scriptures. Go on, my brother.
That's it on that one. So do you want me to go back to 2 Ezra 3:15?
Actually, you can get another precept on that to substantiate that too.
Okay. On the people being nothing. Let's see. This is Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. It says, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Yeah. So the Lord chose us to be above all people. But there's another one I'm looking for though.
Okay.
There's another one where it reads, how does it go? How does it go? It's in Isaiah somewhere. Where it reads, how does it go, guys? Yeah, we read the one in second Ezra. And there's another one too. No, you've already read it already. The drop which falleth from the vessel, right?
Yeah,
It's that's not second Ezra, was it?
that was in second Ezra, but I think it's somewhere else in the scriptures too about the bucket. Do you want to get the other one?
Yeah, pick that one. I think you might have read it already though. But you could read it again just in case. Just in case.
No, Isaiah 40:15 is what we want.
Yeah, that's the one.
Isaiah 40:15 says, "Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as a small dust of the balance.
That's the one, yep.
Behold, he that taketh up the isles as a very little thing."
Yeah, you take over the isles, it's a very little thing. So the isles of the nations is a very little thing. So the nations they can give their bodies as a living sacrifice, or they can give a sacrifice the way we used to do it, and the Lord wouldn't regard it whatsoever. The Lord is only concerned with the nation of Israel for a particular reason. All right, because the covenant was established by us going back to our fathers. We can go back to second Ezra 3.
Yeah, just one more, if I may.
Yeah, go on.
Isaiah 40:17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him as less than nothing, and vanity.
And vanity, meaning, once again, worthless. So again, that's why the Lord established us as his people and the holy people to show the way of righteousness. So when we come out here and we teach, we're supposed to teach you the truth, the entire truth of the Bible. Not give you half truths, but the whole entire truth of the matter. Because that way, if that's not the case, we'll be found liars unto you. And what do you do with a false prophet? He's put to deletion is where he eventually ends up. So we ain't trying to get deleted out here. We trying to prosper in the way of the Lord, man, unto our salvation. So we gonna tell her like it is. Go on, my brother.
Back in 2 Ezra 3:15. "And madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed."
Right, there it is again. And promise him that he would never forsake his seed. So you know what that cuts out? That cuts out that BS of supersessionism, replacement theology. Cuts all of that out. That's all of that stuff is just nothing more than an addition. That's adding into the scriptures and taking away from the scriptures. That's what that is. But see, these things, they got to do that because they've done their research on us, and they've done their research on the preachers that we've been going all over, and they've seen from scripture to scripture, from Genesis to Revelations, that the Lord ain't concerned of the other nations like that. All right? So now they got to push this doctrine out there, replacement theology, supersession, whatever you want to call it, to project that to the simpletons so that they can continue to believe, oh yeah, well, there's hope for the other nations. There ain't no hope for the other nations. As far as it goes, the other nations, they're going to be destroyed on this side. They're going to go and involve themselves in this nuclear war. And that's how the Lord is going to get down on these nations. And then the ones who that remain alive, they're going to be our slaves in the future. So that's what's coming to them. But for Israel, everlasting rulership and righteousness. We're going to be ruling in righteousness. And that's the way it's got to be. That's the way it's going to be. Go on.
2 Ezra 3:16. "And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau.
And Esau. Go on.
As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau."
Right, and thou hast chosen Jacob for thee. So even Esau, despite the fact that he came out as the older brother, he didn't receive the blessing. Okay, well, he was given a blessing, and he was also given a birthright, but then all of that was taken away from him, which it was his fault that he got rid of his birthright for that little red pottage of meat, showing you how pathetic, how absolutely brilliantly pathetic these Edomites are. You willing to sell your birthright for some red pottage? Come on, dog. Go on.
"And put by Esau And so Jacob became a great multitude. And it came to pass that when thou leadest his seed out of Egypt, thou broughtest them up unto Mount Sinai.
Which is Moses, primarily. And that's how Moses was able to get the records, the 5 books of Moses and all of that. Because he was there for 40 days and for 40 nights.
The Torah.
Right. What it's called the Torah.
2 Ezra 3:18. And bowing the heavens, thou didst set fast the earth, movest the whole world, and made the depths to tremble, and troublest the men of that age. And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire, and of earthquake, and of wind, and of cold, that thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob, and diligence unto the generation of Israel.
You're going.
And yet thou tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them.
Exactly. So despite the fact that the Most High gave us the laws and the statutes thereof, the Lord did not take away that wicked heart. Now I'm going to say, showing you that the Most High already knew that Israel was going to go off. Now, if you can, get me the book of Deuteronomy 31 and verse 14. Because during the time of Moses and Joshua, the Lord Yahweh came to them both, and he spoke these words unto them.
Deuteronomy 31 verse 14.
Verse 20.
And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, Behold, thy days approach that thou must die. Call Joshua and present yourselves in the tabernacle of the congregation, that I may give him a charge. And Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves in the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Lord appeared in the tabernacle as a pillar of a cloud, and the pillar of the cloud stood over the door of the tabernacle. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, Behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a-whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whither they go to be among them, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them.
So all those curses that Moses was telling the children of Israel in chapter 28, right?
Deuteronomy 28, yeah.
Yep. All of those things would actually fall upon our people. So when it wasn't a matter of, okay, well, Israel is going to do the right thing, or it was like an uncertain situation, you know what I mean, or an uncertainty that you didn't know whether Israel was going to be right or wrong. No, it was already set up that Israel was going to be wrong. All right, and at this time, because you got to remember we're in Deuteronomy 31, right?
That's right.
So in 28, when Moses was saying what he was saying, he didn't know. But from this point, he did know. He did know that Israel was going to eventually depart. It was a surety that they were going to actually go through these curses. All right. And all these things were told to him in the midst of his departing. So that must have upset Moses, man, and as well as Joshua. But it had to go down, didn't it? Go on.
Deuteronomy 31 and verse 17. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them.
Right, and many evils and troubles shall befall them, and many evils which would have troubled our people. Now we could talk about all of the kingdoms which came after the kingdom of Egypt, that we would have to undergo all of these different kingdoms, the various different captivities and all of that. Those were the many troubles that would have befallen us. But a time would come in a particular world or society, primarily a kingdom. Let me just say it that way instead, right? In a particular kingdom, in this side of the spectrum, we will lose it all. We will lose our heritage. We will lose the Paleo Hebrew, everything, the customs. So if all of that being a loss, the most important thing that we will also lose in the midst of that is his name. All right. So since you've read that, I tell you what, read that again and go back to 2 Ezra's 3rd chapter, because there's some other stuff I want to touch on.
Right, Deuteronomy 31:17 again.
No, 2 Ezra's 3.
Oh, come on.
Where you left off at.
Yeah. Back in 2 Ezra's 3, picking up from where I was, we left at about verse 20. And yet thou tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart,
Yeah.
that thy law might bring forth fruit in them. For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed.
Right. So the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed. Go on.
And was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him.
And so all they that were born of him. Now let's tie that in with what? Romans the 5th chapter.
Come on.
You know what I want.
Yeah, let me just pull it up. Bear me a second. Romans 5 from verse. Is it Romans 5 and 9 you want?
How does it go?
Much more than being now justified through his blood.
No,
no,
one man. What is it? One man sin entered into the world, and then.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah, I've got it.
Good.
Can we give some context though? This point's at 17. Can I start at 14?
Yeah, you can.
Gives context. All right.
Yeah.
So this is Romans 5, starting up from verse 14. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam unto Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come.
Yeah, so in other words, sin reigned from Adam on towards the Israelites. So now let's go back and read, because remember the law, statutes, and commandments were given unto us, right, outwardly, but the law did not depart from us that wicked heart. Now the scripture says, flesh and blood will not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Why? Because within the flesh, if you can get me that too.
Imagine evil.
That's the one. What is it? Sirach 17 and verse 31.
Shall I finish the point here first? Or go straight to that?
You finish that first and then we get to that. Come.
All right, so let's jump down to the point. Verse 16. And not as it was by one that sinned, so is the gift.
Yeah.
For the judgment was by one to condemnation.
Right.
But the free gift is of many offenses unto justification.
Right.
The point is here, 17. For if by one man's offense death reigned by one, much more they which receive the abundance of grace and the gift of righteousness shall reign in the life of one by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Yeah, because Yahweh Shai was that Adam. Yeah, so if death reigned, what is it? If death reigned by one man, then by his death, life can also reign through all men of the nation of Israel. Yeah, I want to adjust this for you just to make it more comfortable.
Off the water.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And you're welcome. I can get on the other side. Yeah, that's it.
The water. What is the next scripture you called for? After that, you wanted me to go somewhere else?
Yeah, I wanted you to, oh man, I forgot.
So we're talking about death by one man came into the world.
Yeah.
And by one man, death will be taken away.
Yep.
There's another precept to back that you called, but I forgot what it was. Forgive me.
You know what? From there, you can go back to 2nd Ezra. The one you left off at.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, Shalom, Akim and Akwakam.
Shalom. All right, so back in 2nd Ezra 3, we was at verse. Oh, where was we? Oh, here we go. Verse 21. For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart, transgressed and was overcome, and so be all that are born of him. Thus infirmity was made permanent.
Right. Therefore, infirmity was made permanent. What was the infirmity? Having an evil and wicked heart. Go on.
And the law also in the heart of the people with the malignity.
Right, with the malignity. So let's look at this word malignity.
Malignity, the order.
I got it right here. It says, let's play this. No, I don't have to play. I ain't got to play it. I ain't got it. It says, evil in nature or effect, malevolent, of a disease, very virulent or infectious. So, because Adam transgressed against the Heavenly Father, that seed of us being, that seed of transgression or sin pretty much violated throughout the entire nation. All right? Among the sons of God, that is. And as we go forward into the history, that's why men, wax wicked. All right? During the time from the flood and then after the flood. So after all that was said and done, okay, cool, the Most High did wonderful things negatively, but yet and still that wicked heart was still in the midst of us. And that's why the Heavenly Father, He's always letting it be known now from the time of Moses and onwards that what? We got to fear the Lord. Why we got to fear the Lord right now? Because if we don't fear the Lord, then guess what? Without that fear, we're going to go off because of that wicked heart. So yeah, we're going to have that wicked heart, but through fear and faith of the Lord, we can still persevere. All right, on towards that new covenant. Go on, my brother.
Thus, infirmity was made permanent, and the law also in the heart of the people with the malignity of the root, so that the good departed away and the evil abode still.
Right, and if you want to say something on that too, chime on in, my brother.
We roughly paraphrase the precept in passing, but I'll mention it again. You know, this flesh and blood that we're in is going to constantly imagine evil.
Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted you to get.
Okay.
That's the one. Right,
you want to get it now?
Yeah, bubble for sure. See? It's a spirit. Because I was saying, that's the reason why we have to be changed. Like the Apostle Paul said, once again, reiterating the point that flesh and blood will not imagine. What is it? Flesh and blood will not inherit the kingdom of heaven because of this right here.
Yeah, this
and
is.
If you want, you can go into it too, brother.
I thought this is Sirach 17 and verse 31. What is brighter than the sun? Yet the light thereof faileth, and flesh and blood will imagine evil. Yeah, so unfortunately, we have inherited these bodies which came from the first Adam.
Yeah.
As we've already brought out, going through the generations, Noah was saved in the flood, and Noah was the descendant of Adam. So therefore, his descendants also are the seed of Adam. But because Adam sinned, we're still in this sinful flesh. And unfortunately, it's like our flesh is configured to go off.
Yeah.
That's the way the Most High has made us. But our spirit always wants to do the right thing. You know, what did Apostle Paul say? "O wretched man that I am. Right. The thing I wish to do, I do not. But that which I wish not to do, that I do." That's how we us in this flesh, we're faced with that dilemma every day. We want to do the right thing, but our body is always constantly pulling us to the left. So that's why we've got to be spiritually minded and also be grateful of the grace that came through Yahweh's sacrifice. Because it's only through Yahweh's sacrifice that we can actually overcome the flesh, and ultimately we will gain victory when Yahweh returns and grants us those new bodies in which we'll never sin again. So therefore, that's the only time we will ever finally be able to have peace. Because you could give a J. all the money in the world, give him a nice house, fast car, but guess what? If he's still in these chains of darkness, he'll never be at ease because he's always going to be warring within his own spirit.
And that's why we're under the period of grace. That's why Yahweh died on the cross so that grace can abound, and through grace we are safe. And in the midst of that, we show faith. All right. So this is a faith thing. So this ain't a thing of, oh, well, we don't have to keep the law to be exact. No, we can't keep the law because of the law is at odds against our members. All right, because of our build, the way we've been constructed, as well as the brother was getting into. So now we gotta occupy we gotta do what we gotta do by the spirit of fear. All right, and that fear will keep the evil inside of us pretty much tied in. You know what I'm saying? If I could use that word.
Yep.
Going out.
Just a quick one. Just to add to your point before I go to the next precept, there's nothing wrong with the law. You know, the law is perfect. It's us. The fault is with us. So what the law really does when we come to know it is it shows us our own faults, and it gives us the opportunity to try and correct ourselves. Whereas there's some people in the world who think, but the Bible, no, that's just burdensome. Those laws are old-fashioned. We can't live that way. No, there's nothing wrong with the law. The law is perfect. We're the ones that are flawed.
Exactly. That's why the scriptures also say too that what righteousness is immortal. So it's the laws and the statutes and commandments which leads to life. But those things would have to be inside of us. We would have to be reconfigured, which is going to be the case, so that we can keep those things easily, and then therefore death will no longer reign upon us anymore. As the first Adam. So what we're bearing right now is the image of the first Adam, but we're going to transition to bearing the image of Yahweh Shah, the second Adam. All right. So, which his name in Adam is Yahweh Shah. I gotta call him how it is.
Khan,
But you get what I'm saying when I say that.
Khan. Back in 2nd Ezra 3, verse 20. And yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them.
Right. That thy law may bring forth fruit in them. And what is the fruit? The fruit of righteousness. So if we're constantly doing the right thing excessively, then guess what? We're going to excessively be blessed. But that's not the program of the Lord right now. The program of the Lord is to have us go through the ups and downs and to play the story out of it. All right. And then at the end, we can then see the bigger picture thoroughly why he did that. Okay. Go on, my brother.
For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed and was overcome, and so be all they are, and so be all they that are born of him. Thus infirmity was made permanent,
right,
and the law also in the heart of the people with the malignity of the root, so that the good departed away and the evil abode still.
Right, but the evil abode still going.
So the times passed away and the years were brought to an end. Then thou didst raise thee up a servant called David,
Go on.
whom thou commandedst to build a city unto thy name, and to offer incense and oblations unto thee therein. When this was done many years, then they that inhabited the city forsook thee, and in all things did even as Adam and all his generations had done, for they also had a wicked heart.
Right.
And thou gavest the city over into the hands of thine enemies, and their deeds, then are their deeds then any better that inhabit Babylon, that they should therefore have the dominion over Zion? For when I came thither and had seen impieties without number, then my soul saw many evildoers in this 30th year, so that my heart failed me.
Yeah, because he was during that time period. He was in Babylon. And that's why in Babylon he was taking the slaves over there, because of what we did against the Lord. But in all of that, once again, the Lord did not forsake his people. And I want you to go and get me Romans the 11th chapter.
Yep.
And verse 1, because again, remembering that the Lord already knew that Jake was going to fall off anyway. That's why he told Moses after he got done telling the children of Israel what the curses was going to be if they didn't keep it from after. So let's go and read this.
Romans 11 from verse 1.
Yeah.
I say then, have the Most High cast away his people? Most High forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
And why did Paul say that? Because he was reading the Apocrypha. He was reading the Old Testament. So all of the prophecies that we're going into, the Old Testament prophecies, they were going into that stuff. All right, so that's why these silly Christians, they really can't go with this notion of, oh, well, the Lord reinvented another world, so to speak, in the new covenant. No, because Paul said what he said. He said that, look, he didn't forsake his people, and it's impossible for the Lord to forsake his people. Now, the Lord can do what he wants, but when I say it's impossible, I'm talking about because the Lord is the power of his word. And especially if the Lord makes a promise or a covenant, don't you think he's going to exact that? Of course he's going to exact that. You better believe it. All right? So the Heavenly Father, as I'm going to say again, he's the power of his word. So that has to be fulfilled. And yes, there's certain scriptures that say he loved his people and all that stuff, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But the focus is the covenant that has to be fulfilled. All right? That's what the whole circumcision thing was about. Now, the first son that Abraham circumcised, yes, it was Ishmael. But the circumcision was a declaration of a covenant between him and his maker. All right? And that same covenant would follow on down onto Isaac and then Jacob. And that would be fulfilled later on. Go on, my brother.
Quick precept to back up your point. Numbers 23:19. The Most High is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent.
Yeah.
Have he said, and shall he not do it?
Exactly.
Or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
Right. And there's another one you can get from me, Baba Bashar. It's in Malachi 3, I think it's between 1 and verse 4.
Come
How it reads, that the Lord changed not.
This is Malachi 3, starting at verse 6. For I am the Lord, Yahweh, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
Right. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Lord is the same as he was before and also today. All right, even Yahweh Shai said the same thing, showing you he's at one with his Father in heaven. So the Lord ain't a power that says one thing and then he's going to do another thing. The Lord isn't fickle. Oh yeah, you can give me another precept too.
Yep.
I think it was Peter that said it, and he spoke about the immutability of his counsel.
Okay.
So type that word immutability. Matter of fact, let me help you out with that. I'll help you out. Let me do this.
I think I found it.
Go on.
Hebrews 6 and 17. Wherein the Most High, willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel.
Right, the immutability of his counsel. And I wanted you to read that. And if you can, but for sure, look up that word.
Oh yeah, I get in blue letter. Yeah.
Because what does the word immutability mean? Meaning it's unable to change. It's not changeable.
Mm-hmm.
So you may say as a silly Christian that may know the truth, right? Oh no, well this could very well be the case differently, because we've written books and we found out and we so-called broke the code of the Bible, and everybody else can get the salvation now. So y'all Israelites is talking trash. No, we ain't. We ain't talking trash. You the ones that's talking trash. You hadn't been taken away from the book.
Okay, the word immutability in the Greek is the word amethatos, if I'm saying that correct.
You can play it if you want. And this should pick up on the mic too.
76. Amethathetos.
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 Mm-hmm.
Right. It means not transposed, not to be transferred, fixed, unalterable.
Right, unalterable. Exactly. So you can't. It's not changeable. So the Heavenly Father is a power that how can I what word can I use for this to express the Most High, man? Well, I can say this: the Most High is immutable. Okay, whatever the Lord doeth, it is done forever. Oh yeah, you can pull that too. You can get that too. Ecclesiastes 3. I think that's what is it, verse 16. So when it concerns his people whom he ordained to be above all nations, to serve his great deal of a purpose, come on. That ain't changing. The 12 tribes, how you doing? That's why you gotta have the sign out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. She looked a bit puzzled there, like, what are you guys doing? What are they teaching?
No manners either, not even hello, you know, or thank you. It's just like, what the hook? Ecclesiastes 3:16 says, more of us under the place of
no, that's not the one. It's like it's verse 14. My bad. That's
yeah, there you go. Thawada. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 14. I know that whatsoever the Most High doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High doeth it, that men should fear before him.
Right, exactly. So you call yourself trying to take away from the Bible and trying to twist things to suit your own needs. Listen, bro, he ain't changing anything. The Most High said something, so that's what he's going to do. One more precept, brother. Isaiah 55, verse 11.
You can't. I can just get my glove off.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, listen, if the Most High is serious about his word, how much more the covenant that he has placed upon our forefathers? That's a very, very serious thing. That's not a light thing. Go on out.
Isaiah 55, verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please.
Right, and it shall accomplish that which I please. Go on.
And shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
Mm-hmm. And it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So when the prophets speak, those words are going to be initialized to come to pass. Simply put. Go on.
That's the end of that precept. So where are we going back to?
Yes.
Second Ezra 3. Yeah, come on. Back in Second Ezra 3, we picked up on about, what is it, 20?
Something like that. I think, what, 21?
Yeah, we read 22, going into 23. So the times passed away. Now we got that part as well. David.
As a matter of fact, what you can also do too as well, since you read Romans 11, get Jeremiah 31 and verse 35.
Khan.
Is this right here really reaffirms that again it's impossible for the Heavenly Father to do away with his people.
This is Jeremiah 31 verse 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh is his name. If these ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me.
And can't nobody do that. Can't nobody go up to the higher heavens to destroy the ordinances of the Lord. So can't nobody do it, and guess what? The Lord is going to be with his people. And the Most High was just making that statement just to convey how serious he is with him being connected and tied to his people whom he has chosen. Because the Lord has a purpose. See, our purposes that we have in mind, we want to actualize, right? But the Most High has his purpose. And the purpose of the Lord is to have it so that his nation is above all people for his great deal of a purpose. To show what righteousness on the earth, how it's supposed to be. All right? And many more of the things to come that we may not know of yet. Go on.
Verse 36. If these ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel shall also cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord.
Yeah, and you know what, too, you've had nations that try to do this, man, like try to drill all the way down to the bottom of the earth to get onto the other side of the earth, and that's their way of measuring the earth. That's some bullshit going on.
If I may say, when Esau names these shuttles that he sends into space, what does he call them? He calls them things like the Challenger.
Yeah.
Or when they go down to the bottom of the sea, it's like what's that one they called it? The one that blew up. It imploded. What was it called? Titan. You know, they give them these kind of names because they want to challenge the Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the name, you know, the challenge rocket, you know. Yeah. They're trying to challenge the Most High's will. But they can't do it, like you said.
Yeah, and really the Most High was just being facetious, but of course they took it literally, you know. Yeah, so that's all we got, my brother.
Khan. Back in 2nd Ezra 3. The Defiant. I think another one they called it was the Defiant.
God.
But that's Esau, isn't it? Back in 2nd Ezra 3, we got to around verse 26. And in all things did even as Adam and all his generations had done, for they also had a wicked heart, and thou gavest the city over into the hands of the enemies. That's right.
Right, and now thou hast given, what is it, the city into the hands of the enemy. And that's why they've become to rule over our land right now, claiming themselves to be us. Which that was a prophecy anyway, that Ezekiel was even mentioned. I think that's in Ezekiel 36 somewhere. You gotta get it. You know, but all of this happened because something remained to be the same. Once again, going all the way back to that infirmity, that which was perpetual. And that which was perpetual, you can, brother, get me 2nd Ezra 9, verse 15.
Book of 2nd Ezra 9, verse 15 says, I have said before and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved.
No. 2nd Ezra 9 and 19. So like about that.
9:19. Verse 19. For then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed.
Yeah, they have been made corrupted by a perpetual seed. Go on.
And by a law which is unsearchable, rid themselves.
Yeah, rid themselves. Because, again, what is that perpetual seed? That wicked, evil heart, which became a malignant, an evil thing that couldn't depart from the sons of God, also known as now the children of Israel. All right? I think there's some more. Yeah. In verse 20.
Khan. Verse 20 says, so I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster.
Right, and have kept me a grape of the cluster. Go on.
And a plant of a great people.
Right, and a plant of a great people. Go on.
Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
So those that were planted, and the grape which was kept is the elect. That's why he says now, let the multitude now that were born in vain, let them perish. You understand? So now it's like, okay, well, the Lord is going to be showing this deed of mercy with the remnant. That's why it also mentions in the book of Hosea, not Hosea, but it talks about how Israel be as the sand of the sea, but yet a remnant of them shall return. All right, so the Lord is still going to show mercy. And the reason why the Lord has to show mercy is, remember, the Lord already knew our frame. If you can get me that too. The Lord know of our frame, right? It's in the book of Psalms 103 and verse 14. But even though we're in an evil, wicked, fashion, so to speak, still, the elect are going to return. They're going to know the Lord. They're going to fear the Lord. And that right there is going to have them overcome the flesh.
This is Psalms 103 verse 14. For he knoweth our frame, he remembereth that we are dust. For as a man, his days are as grass, and as a flower of the field, so he flourisheth. For when the wind passeth it over, it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more.
Right, and the place of thereof shall know it no more. Exactly. So we're made out of dust, but the way we're made is we're made to go off once again. So this is why Yahweh Shah had to die on the cross for our sins, so that he could come back and redefine us to a different meaning, the right kind of meaning. You know what I'm saying? So that we don't have to bear this evilness that lies within. The Sirach 17 and 31 situation that we in. We don't got to deal with that no more. That infirmity.
You want me to get it?
Yeah, go on.
This is book of Sirach 17 verse.
The second time around.
Yeah, we already brought it out. Yeah. 1731 of Sirach says, what is brighter than the sun, yet the light thereof faileth, and flesh and blood will imagine evil.
Right, exactly. And that's what we got. And as a matter of fact, since you read that, also read what Paul was mentioning. That's in 1 Corinthians 15. And I think it's I think it's 29.
1 Corinthians 15 started from about verse 29.
And also read down to verse 52. You want?
No. That's not it. Just roughly paraphrase it, Baba Kishore.
I'll show you. We're going to do it already. Yeah.
That's all right. Okay, Thawada. This is 1 Corinthians 15:50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
And you've already went into what? Go on.
Neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye.
So it's going to be instantaneously that we're going to be changed. It's not going to be like we're loading up towards us being from bearing the mortal bodies to bearing the immortal bodies. It's going to be a quick change. It's going to be instant. Go on.
In the moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible.
It means that the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Because right now we're in a dead state. We're in the flesh. In the flesh, dilapidates gradually through time. That's why when you get older, you don't move like how you used to move. You don't think the way you used to think on point. You're not as resilient as you used to be overall, bodily wise. But you slow down. Why? Because we're dying slowly. Because we're in what? We're in the bodies of sin, which brings death. Go on. And each and every time we reproduce our children gets weaker and weaker.
Yep.
Tells you that in the Apocrypha too.
Yeah. And we shall be changed, for this corruptible must put on incorruption,
Yeah.
and this mortal must put on immortality.
Go on.
So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written,
Yeah.
death is swallowed up in victory.
Right. Death is swallowed up in victory. Meaning sin has been swallowed up in victory. Why? Because the root of immortality is what? Righteousness. Righteousness is immortal. So that's what's going to be in our bodies next. So now we ain't never going to die. That's why it is also written that Israel is that what? That world without end. There ain't going to be no ending to the house of Jacob or the house of Israel, as you will. Go on.
So, oh death, where is thy sting?
Right.
Oh,
Sin. Where, exactly. Go on, brother.
Oh death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law.
Right, and the strength of sin is the law. So that's what it is. Death is sin. All right. So that's what we got to go with. And what we can do is read Psalms 103, Baba Kushal, once again.
Khan.
Woo.
This is Psalms 103, verse 14 again. For he knoweth our frame, he remembereth that we are dust. As for a man, his days are as grass, as the flower of a field.
And with that too, what you can also get is Sirach. I think it's Sirach 18. Matter of fact, you know what? I need to
check it
to charge my phone.
Okay,
if I don't, then everything's gonna go out.
Okay, Khan.
Yeah, so
Sirach, I'll read it while you're doing that.
Sure.
What did you call for Sirach?
Yeah, I think it's Sirach 18 to the last couple of verses. I think it's in verse 21.
Okay.
Matter of fact, let me help you out with it real quick. To be exact.
Have you got a charger?
Yeah, I got two of them. I just gotta put one in. Real quick. I'm on 14%.
Yes.
Yeah, this is it right here. Water your house, I should shot. Yeah, so yeah, verse 11.
Water. Book of Sirach, chapter 18, starting from verse 11. Therefore is the Most High patient with them, and poureth forth his mercy upon them. He saw and perceived their end to be evil, therefore he multiplied his compassion. The mercy of man is towards his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. He reproveth and nurtureth, and teacheth and bringeth again, as a shepherd his flock.
Just to read it again and break it down.
Khan. Therefore the Most High is patient with them, and poureth forth his mercy upon them. See, again, I mean, I've done a video last week talking about this very point, that we also, just as much as we know the terror of the Lord and we're rightfully afraid of him, we also have to remember that he's a power of balance. Because the scriptures say a false balance is an abomination unto the Most High. So just as much as the Most High shows his terror and his fear for his judgments, he also shows great mercy and compassion, especially to his people, which are the descendants of Israel, us, the Israelites. Verse 12, he saw and perceived their end to be evil, therefore he multiplied his compassion. Yes, and the Most High has had mercy on us, man. Even after all the wickedness we've done, the Most High still has had that space of mercy reserved unto us. Now, this is the flip side of it, because Esau's not going to find no mercy from the Lord. That's in the, the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary. It talks about how Esau is the only nation that was not promised any mercy from the Heavenly Father.
God.
Now that's a terrifying place to be, because we know that, therefore knowing the terror of the Lord we persuade men. Like, we know the terror of the Lord, and we've experienced a lot of shit at the hand of the Most High, and rightfully so. But imagine Esau, who's going to receive no mercy, man. So this is verse 13. The mercy of a man is towards his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. He reproveth and nurtureth and teacheth, and bringeth again as a shepherd his flock.
Yeah, so it's simple to read and acquaint it with everybody. Oh, yeah, well, the Lord is merciful unto all flesh. Yeah, unto all flesh whom he has chosen. Let's just get that correct, because who's returning back to the Lord? Once again, the nation of Israel, the so-called black man, the so-called Latino Native American man. That's who has returned back to the Lord. And it tells you that though Israel be his descendant, just quoted it before, though Israel be his descendant of seed, yet a remnant of them shall return. Read that point again and then go to that.
Yep, this is and verse 14 is good, if I may.
Yeah.
Verse 13, the mercy of a man is towards his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh.
Right, but the mercy upon the Lord is upon all flesh. So let's see the mercy of all flesh that he's referring to. Let's go and read that in the book of Hosea 1 and 10.
Khan.
As a matter of fact, you can start from verse 5 and we can break the whole thing down.
Hosea 1 and 5. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And the Most High said unto him, call her name Loromai, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel.
Which we know that the word La'amai, which means not a people or not my people. So the Lord was saying that he's going to what? Disassociate himself from his people. Go on.
For I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away.
But I will utterly take them away. Go on.
But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah,
Right.
and will save them by the Lord their power, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Now when she had weaned Loromah, if I'm saying that correctly, she conceived and bare a son. Then said the Most High, call his name Loromai.
Right.
For ye are not my people, and I will not be your power.
Go on.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them,
So it shall come to pass in the place where it was said unto them, go on.
ye are not my
You
people,
are not my people. Go on.
there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
Yeah, so this just read that the Lord will have mercy on Judah. Yes, it read that. And I'm going to also tie that in with another precept which is in my mind right now, that the tents of Judah shall rise first. So the tents of Judah rise first, and guess what? The tents of Ephraim will also rise. So there goes your resurrection of the nation of Israel entirely. All right, showing you that the Lord is a merciful power unto his people. All right, so that's who the mercy belongs. That's who the mercy went out to, where it reads that the Lord will have mercy on all flesh, meaning the flesh who is deserving of the mercy thereof. Tie me that with what is it? Romans the 9th chapter.
Khan.
Because in order for you to have mercy on something, you would have not had mercy on that something before.
Is it Romans 9 and 3 you want?
Well, Romans 9 and 1, I think it is. Yeah, Romans 9 and 1 to I think it's verse 3.
Yeah. Romans 9 and 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the services of the Most High and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, Most High blessed forever. Amen.
Yeah, so with all of that being the case, primarily dealing with Yahweh Shai, right? How in him he was able to be adopted, again, showcases that mercy. And what did Yahweh Shai say? When he played as the mediator to the Father in John 17, he said, look, let these be that thou hast given me be sanctified in thy word. So that was the elect that he was referring to, and through the elect, as well as the Apostle Paul said, that all Israel will be saved. Okay, that's the best way I could put that. So there goes your mercy upon the nation of Israel. No other nation outside of that. And as a matter of fact, it actually tells you. Go back to read what you reading before in the book of what is it? Sirach 18 and 11.
Yep. Back in Sirach
13.
That's cool. Back in Sirach 18 verse 13. The mercy of man is towards his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. He reproveth and nurtureth and teacheth and bringeth again as a shepherd his flock.
As a shepherd his flock. So he brought us back again. So doesn't it read in the book of Jeremiah 17, right? That the Lord will have us discontinue my heritage, and that the Lord will be angry with us forever. I'm roughly paraphrasing that scripture. But guess what? That didn't necessarily mean that. It meant for a duration of time. All right? So after that time, the Lord will return our hearts back to him. That's in the book of Malachi. Correct me if I'm wrong, brother. That's in the book of Malachi 4, where it reads that the fathers, he would turn the heart of the fathers.
Oh, the heart of the sons to the fathers, yeah.
Yeah, which came right around that time of 1969. And that's where the truth sprung up from. What is it? To be exact, Harlem in America, in Harlem, 125th Street.
Huh.
Go on.
This is back in Sirach 18, verse 14. He have mercy on them.
And that, to be exact, was Elijah, which we believe our Biblia is Elijah in the spirit. Go
on. Elder High Priest Rabbi Abedus, right? Yeah. This is Sirach 18:14. He have mercy on them that receive his discipline and that diligently seek after his judgments.
And that diligently seek after his judgments. Go on.
My son, blemish not thy goods, neither use uncomfortable words when thou givest anything. Is this still going into what you want?
Go back and read verse 14.
14 again.
Yeah.
He have mercy on them that receive his discipline. Right. So that means it has to be Israelites.
It has to be Israelites. Why? Because the discipline goes all the way back, what? To the laws and the statutes of that. So did he give his disciplines to the other nations? No, he did it. Or you could tie it in with Psalms 147 and 19.
and that diligently seek after his judgments.
Yeah, so how can you diligently seek after something if something wasn't given to you? How can you diligently seek after the judgments if the judgment wasn't given to you? Yeah, so yeah, give me that in Psalms 147 and 19.
Yep.
Yeah, Elder High Priest Abedus. I said Abedus.
Yeah. This is Psalms 147:19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. We have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Yeah. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh.
Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. So now, let's go back and read verse 14 again.
Surah 18:14 again. Surah 18:14 again says, he have mercy on them that receive his discipline and that diligently seek after his judgments.
Diligently seek after his judgments. So now, as well as it was written in the book of Baruch, right? That it was in us to go astray from the Most High.
So being astray for him, return to him 10 times more.
Right. Return and seek him 10 times more. All right. So that's what we're doing right now. That's why brothers is doing videos on a day-to-day basis, coming out here in the highways or the hedges, however you present the word of the Lord diligently. And this is just our way of showing that we're about the Lord's business, as well as Yahweh Shai said. He said, I'm about my Father's business. So we have to be in the same like mind. We have to occupy until the Lord comes. Now, when you look up that word occupy, what does it relate to? It goes back to the word business. So does it mean that me and Kalab here, we're gonna set up a storefront and sell you fruits, or sell you other means? No, it just means to do this work. That's the business that we're gonna be occupying.
Khan.
Going on.
That's the end of Surah 18:14.
Yeah, so go and if we're done with second Ezra, speak out with.
I think so. I can go back there and check. They've gone into the Babylonian captivity.
Yeah.
Is that finished on that part?
Yeah, we're done with that. Yeah, I think he was in verse 27.
Right. And so thou gavest the city.
No, 29. I think it was 29.
For when I came to and had seen evildoers in this 13th year, so that my heart failed me. For I have seen now that thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and hast destroyed thy people, and hast preserved thine enemies, and hast not signified it. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion? Or is there any other people that knoweth thee besides Israel? Or what generation have believed thy covenants as Jacob?
Yeah, because during the time of Babylon, we were in a desolate situation. And when you compare Babylon to Israel, man, them Babylonians, which were really nothing more than the people of Ashur, were a group of Assyrians. They were doing tremendously well economically. I mean, they had they was living. They was living large.
Oh, Salakia. Part fell off.
Man.
There you go.
Your water better. I just won't have to hold it from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me go.
Just putting this back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was saying, when you compare the nation of Israel, the state of affairs of the nation of Israel to the Babylonians, the Assyrians, man, they were doing too good. All right, it seemed like the Lord had forsaken his people. That's why he said this. In verse, where was he at? In verse,
I'll look it up. Hang on.
I think it was verse 30, 31.
Yeah, 31 and 32. 31 says, I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they of Babylon better than the we of Zion? Than they of Zion?
No.
Or is there any other people that knoweth thee besides Israel? Or what generation have believed thy covenants as Jacob? Verse 33.
Yep.
And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth.
I didn't know that was it.
And I see that they flow in wealth and think not upon my commandments.
Yeah, and too, the reason why they were laboring and they had no fruit, because remember, they were under the curse. Because remember, from the time of Babylon, we're talking what? If I'm correct, about, I would say maybe a little over 1,000 years before Babylon came on the scene. Moses told them that, look, that the nations which will be around you, they will get up above you very high.
Yeah.
And they suffered that at the time. And so, with that being said, we can get Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 38 to be exact.
Khan. Deuteronomy 28 verse 38 says, Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it.
Yeah, so the locust represents the other nations. The locust shall consume it. What does 39 read?
Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them.
Right. And just as well as it reads, and I think it's in verse 35, it talks about how the nations would eat up, would eat up all of thy labor. In verse 35. Well, Sharp, you can read that, might as well, because you're in it already.
Yeah, this is it's in verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
And that's what was happening at the time. They were being oppressed and crushed. So that doesn't just apply to now us. It applied back then as well. So the approach of time, the curses just became more and more thicker. But the curses of Israel has reached a maximum height in this side of the spectrum. You know, and what we see happening right now is that we see that our enemies are beginning to drink of that cup of the curse.
Yep.
You know, because now we're approaching a time that the Lord has already pretty much considered our iniquities. Now he's going to consider the iniquities of those that have afflicted us as a people. All right. So therefore, they're drinking of that cup. And that's why you see these devils lollygagging and talking about how they can't get a job because of DEI and all this extra shit.
Yeah.
You know, and the economy, you know, because the economy is in the state that it's in, inflation's kicking everybody up the ass in America. Everybody done left the dollar, and what happens? So it's upsetting these devils. And then you also gotta you know, take into account AI is going to take over these jobs too, these corporate jobs that these devils working. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So there lies it right there. The curses is starting to begin on them. That's all we got. Go on, my brother.
Still in Deuteronomy 28 or finished there?
No, we finished with that.
Can't. So back into second Ezra.
Yeah. And what makes even matters worse too is these e-files. Well, that's coming out about that's really pretty much making these devils look crazy out in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
This is second Ezra 3 for verse 33. For yet their reward, forgive me, appeareth not, and their labor hath no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon my commandments. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name be nowhere found but in Israel.
That's right. Go on.
Or when was it that they which did dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight?
Right. And you know what, see, with verse 34, get me the book of Zephaniah 3. And what we want to go with it. I think it's what is it? We can start with verse 8.
Zephaniah 3 verse 8 says,
3 and 9. So like 3 and 9.
Can't. Zephaniah 3 verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name
at the time. But we lost that. We lost the name of the Lord in this generation, in this time that we're living in right now. And the Lord has brought it back to us. Because the time is going to come, we're going to need the name to call upon. You know, go
on. Verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my suppliants, even the daughters of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me.
Yeah.
For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord Yahweh.
So the time will come that all of Israel is going to be poor, and even as it was back then. So a remnant among us are going to return to the Lord and trust upon us. And that's where we come in. That's where the elect comes in. Because you have the rest of our nation, and they're supposed to be believers, but they don't believe because the Lord didn't give them, the Most High didn't give them the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and so he didn't quicken them. But he gave us the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And so therefore we become quickened to see the true way. All right? Now we're participating in the good way. The old way, that which is good. Excuse me. Roughly paraphrasing it. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say on that. Yeah, so go back to what you had in 2nd Ezra 3.
Yep, just a few more verses left there. Second Ezra 3
and
35. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or when, or what people have so kept thy commandments?
Right.
Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts,
Right.
but not the heathen.
But not the heathen. So it's once again, during this time period, you had what? You had Ezra, and you had other prophets that were there in Babylon too. You had Jeremiah, if I'm correct.
Daniel.
So these were they, among the many of the nation that kept the precepts, that kept the word. So even then you had the elect. All right? Even then you had the very elect. Yeah, so the same thing applies right now. We also have the name of the Lord, and the rest of the nations, of course, they wouldn't have the name, and the non-elect wouldn't have the name. They would know the name, because even among Israelites that know who they are and everything, they have the name of the Lord too. But guess what? They that are going to be delivered by having the name of the Lord are going to be those that have had done the will of the Father in heaven.
Khan.
Okay? I'm reading the note and see what it reads, right? When they say Lord, Lord.
Yeah. That's Matthew 7. Do you want me to get it?
Yeah, come
Book of Matthew chapter 7, starting at verse 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
That's it. That's all we need. So speaking about the remnant, get me Isaiah chapter 10 verse 21.
Khan. Book of Isaiah chapter 10 verse 21 says, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob unto the mighty power.
Verse 22.
For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness.
Right.
Verse 23 as well?
No, that's it. Yeah, so what I want to do is I want to change the topic a little bit. we're gonna show you this video here. Because we got some news out there, right? That came out on Fox News. And it reads, Pentagon warns future wars may hit U.S. soil as direct military threat grows. And you see, this is a part of why we are out here at a consistent basis we are, to give you the warning of the things to come. Because the things that are going to come is going to shake this earth heavy. All right? And it's going to be a nuclear annihilation, which will be smack dab on the swords of America. So speaking of the swords of America, we're going to play this right over here. Pentagon is saying, matter of fact, I'll read it for you again.
I need you to unlock this button.
Okay, come. Yeah.
Water.
Yeah, so just to read it again, Pentagon warns future wars may hit U.S. soils as direct military threat grows.
All right, so I'll play the video now.
And you don't even have to turn it up that loud since your mic is working too.
Okay, Khan.
Boom. Another boat off of the coast of
Just a bit more volume. Just a bit more volume.
Because I'm thinking the brother, he knows, man.
So like
Of course, he would know that. So my bad. Let's turn this up a little bit. Actually, no, see here.
After Trump gave the Bureau,
Yeah, there it is.
All right, so water.
Yeah.
Let me rewind it.
a missile to Venezuela's drug loading dock. Two narco-terrorists are reportedly dead. This comes just after Trump gave Maduro a late Christmas gift, a missile to Venezuela's drug loading dock.
There was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats, and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement, and that is no longer around.
Maduro thought Trump was bluffing when he threw around the idea of land strikes. Guess not. The docks are about as close to home as it gets. Guess the dictator should have listened to all the warning shots.
You have to understand what he's done.
Yep.
They've sent have no choice but very quickly to eradicate that buildup. So I hope Iran is not trying to build up.
He means it. If Hamas
Get to the point where they talk about US soil, right?
throw a swanky Christmas party, but he has.
Israel and the Jewish people.
And Trump is reminding the world.
It's like I'm just trying to find the part.
I know.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna we did. I know exactly because you know this does it changes videos. Oh, it's the same video. Okay.
And they were so sad.
No, I'm just saying like play into like maybe a minute
They're
some
not trying
change.
to build up
Okay,
again
cool.
because
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so watch play it again.
Kaboom. Kaboom. Another boat off of the coast of Venezuela just got blown to smithereens. These weren't fishermen or a shipwrecked crew. They were bad hombres, narco terrorists. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth ordered the lethal kinetic strike earlier today as part of Operation Southern Spear. Two narco terrorists are reportedly dead. This comes just after Trump gave Maduro a late Christmas gift, a missile to Venezuela's drug-loading dock.
there was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats, and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement, and that is no longer around.
Yeah.
Maduro thought
Shall I
Trump
stop
was
there?
bluffing when he threw around the idea of land strikes.
Right, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, so as I heard, right, Trump said that he's looking to eradicate this buildup. He ain't eradicating everything, man. As a matter of fact, DJ Trump, he's down for the cause, whether he wants to or not. He ain't listen. The scripture says that there is no peace, save the Lord unto the wicked. Throughout the years, man, they've come out with so many different ideas and how to solve this tension among themselves, and they didn't manage to do it throughout the process of time with these peace treaties. All right. So yeah, hit me with that too, Jeremiah. I think that's in somewhere in Jeremiah, man. Or I could be incorrect about that. But it talks about there ain't no peace save the Lord unto the wicked.
Oh, Khan, yeah.
And all of Trump isn't with this world war. Ain't no peace coming. This thing's gonna build up and it's gonna build up, and then before you know it, these nations they're gonna get it in, and America's gonna be destroyed.
Do you know what?
While they are getting it.
If I may bring it out, it's in a few places. It's in Isaiah 48:22. There is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the wicked. And also in Isaiah 57 and verse 21, there is no peace, saith my power, to the wicked.
That's right. So there ain't no peace. So it's been said several times. So therefore, the case is true, isn't it?
Yeah, mouth two or three witnesses.
Yep. So now, what we can also do is get Jeremiah 47 and verse 1 just, and we're going to take it somewhere else.
Jeremiah 41:27.
So 47 and verse 1.
Oh, 47:1. Tawada.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 47 and 1 says, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Philistines before that smote Gaza.
It's like about that. No, that's the wrong one.
Slacking.
That's my bad. Yes, Isaiah 47.
Okay.
Isaiah 47 and verse 1. Just.
Isaiah 47 and 1, classic.
Yes.
Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
What it means to sit on the ground meaning they're gonna be brought to absolutely nothing. They were exalted at once upon a time, as well as we are right now, just so that they could be brought to a base situation. It's a powder. Go on.
Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Yeah, so no one's gonna ever look at America the same as they used to back in the day, as this benevolent nation that stood for kindness and goodwill and all this extra stuff. Now there's a different spirit among these nations, and it's the spirit of hatred. It's the spirit of being despised. Yeah, it just increases, right? When you go.
I was just checking the battery because I thought the screen went a bit dark, but we're still at 71%.
Okay, got.
Yeah, it's like a carrier.
Yeah, so no, that's all I got to say.
All right, let me keep reading then. Take millstones and grind
We
meal.
don't got to read that far.
Oh, it's lucky.
That's all right. Yeah, so now get Obadiah 1. Because I mentioned that now the nations are looking at America as they should. Due to the amount of evil things that was done among these nations, springing from America. Now these nations are looking at it like sideways now. And now they got a different spirit or a negative kind of vibration towards that nation. Going
from verse 1.
From verse 1.
It's like it. Obadiah 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. You have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Right. Let us rise up against her in battle. And primarily we know that Russia's going to rise up against America because of this whole Iranian situation, as well as that's written that the least of the flock shall draw them out. Israel is going to force America's hand to hit Iran, and then before you know it, big boy Russia, and then before you know it, China's going to get involved, and it's just going to be a big blast off to America. All right, America's going to be blasted, as they say in the world, back to the Stone Age. There was no such thing. Going up.
Behold, I have made thee small amongst the heathen.
God.
Thou art greatly despised.
The they are greatly despised. So when we bump it up to Isaiah 47 and 1 verse again,
yep,
that's why this street.
Isaiah 47 and 1 again. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
God.
Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Yep. And what else?
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
And thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Why? Because the nations are going to begin to hate it. So when the nations begin to hate you, what else is going to come out of that? Their wrath, which is going to be the Lord's wrath and his indignation. All right, that's what's coming. That's what's being prepared on the earth.
Quick precept, if I may.
Yep.
This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory.
Yep.
Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
Mm-hmm.
The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee,
right,
and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. Yeah, because the reason why I say that is because now all the nations are looking at Esau sideways because of these e-files, as you said, these Epstein files that have been coming out, and have been showing a lot of your, your hype celebrities, your elites, your politicians, your so-called world leaders to be nothing more than degenerate, filthy workers of witchcraft. So this is why, like, America's not got that nice, shiny, golden image that it once had, where, once upon a time, America was seen as the light of the world, the leader of the free nations. Now people are all looking at you sideways, like, what the hell is wrong with Babylon, man? Yeah.
And also to include, so I remember back in 2010, right? I think it was Ahmadinejad, man. He brought it out, exposing the enslavement of our people and how they treated us and all that stuff. And all of the nations walked out of it, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I mean? Like that was a classic to see that kid. I mean, that would always be in my head. Going out, you got it back.
Yeah, that's all I had on that.
God. Yeah, so I mean, they get exposed, and so now, again, the thing is going to be, look, we're going to blast America. We're going to blast America back to nothing. Because once upon a time, America was a no land. It was also known as Austria too. And if you take it further back than that, it was also known as the land of Canaan. That's why when you go up north, you have what is called Canada. It goes back to Canaan.
Okay.
And the reason why America was coined the Canaan is during that time when Solomon was on the scene, the Canaanites left their mark over there. That's why you got those big-headed statues that are shown from time to time, right? As well as brothers, do their research and everything. It's called the Olmec head statues, if I'm correct. If you type it in, Olmec statues, and it will show you those big heads, alluding back to those Canaanites that went over to America, because they had to go pick up the various spices and the peacocks and the apes to beautify the kingdom of Solomon, which was, you could say, the kingdom of heaven for Israel at that time, to a small degree. All right. So they coined it the land of Canaan because they were there. So now, get me Isaiah 14 and 21.
Come
And then he had to get the gold of Ophir too, which Ophir means weekend. As a matter of fact, I tell you what, before you go there, look up that word Ophir.
in the blue letter.
Yeah.
The word Ophir in the blue letter is Ophir, and outline of biblical usage is reducing to ashes, or the 11th son of Joktan, or a land or city in southern Arabia in Solomon's trade route, where gold evidently was traded for goods.
Yes. So where did they get the gold of Ophir from? They got it from the land of Ashur, which is going to be what? Reduced to ashes.
Mm-hmm.
So now hit me with Isaiah 14 and 21.
Come. Isaiah 14 verse 21 says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise up, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord Yahweh.
Go on.
And I will make it also a possession for the bitten and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts.
So that's how America is going to be totally annihilated in nuclear rock. All right? Because it's going to be by the power and the might of Yahweh Shai. And his right hand is going to make sure that. Because remember, Yahweh Shai is in charge of everything. Get me Matthew, what is it, 28 and 19. I think it's 18 verse 19. So Yahweh Shai is gonna will it in man, put it in the thoughts of man to seal their instruction to get America total annihilated. This is the prophecy, and this is something that even Christian scholars are coming to find out. But we've been speaking about this for a while anyway. Okay, that America is that Babylon, that old daughter of Babylon, which ought to be destroyed, according to the book of Revelation. Go on.
You call from Matthew 28, 18 and 19?
Yeah. No, 29 and 18. I think it's 29 and 18, where it reads that what is it? How does it go that the anointed one, he has power over heavens and earth.
Oh,
yeah, 20. I think it's 28.
Yeah, that's the one. This is Matthew 28, 18. And Yahweh Shai came unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth.
That's it. That's all we need. Yeah. So once again, Yahweh Shai is going to make sure that the purposes of the Lord Yahweh will stand. Of America being, in this case, being annihilated, being destroyed, as well as the Pentagon has announced. You know that what is it? Future wars may have it so that war could be on the soil. Murphy Valley, which there ain't going to be no war on the soils of America. It's going to be the missiles touching on the soils of America and blowing that city apart, blowing that entire country apart, to the point where this becomes a whole desert. So much so that even desert creatures, and even the bitterness of desert bird, by the way. All right?
Precept.
Go on.
This is Joel 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
Go on.
Let all of the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh and is nigh at hand.
Right, and it also mentions that the day of the Lord cometh full. So Esau is going to exact his cruelty against our people, and that's what the Lord is going to do. He's going to exact the same energy on these devils. Go on.
A day of darkness and of gloominess, and a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong they have not been.
And the great people that are strong that have not been is those missiles, because they're going to be shot forth as in formation. Like when you see a flock of birds flying in formation, or even horses. Let's use the analogy of horses. Like during the ancient world, you would go to war, and those horses will go towards one another together in formation.
I think they call it cavalry.
Yeah, the cavalry. Thank you, brother. The cavalry, right? So those missiles, they're going to act as the cavalry, hitting ground zero of the land that it needs to hit, and that's America. Go on.
A great people and a strong, they have not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it,
Right.
even to the years of many generations.
Even unto the years of many generations. So America's going to be no more, and the destruction that's going to hit it is going to be like none other. Go on.
A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them,
Right.
and behind them a desolate wilderness.
Behind them a desolate wilderness. See, right now it is as people are having a good jolly old time. It's nice outside. It's sunny in some cases, especially in America. It's always, for the most part, it's always, you can say it's sunny. There's moments where it's great like this too, but especially if you live in Florida and all that, like it's most likely sunny and all of that. But again, it's going to be like a wilderness. A flame behind them, burner, and also after them it's going to bring America to desolation.
Yep.
Go on.
And nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run.
Right, and as horsemen so shall they run. So it ain't talking about men on horses. No, it's talking about the power of the missile that's going to be transferred from one continent to another continent, and their power is going to be demonstrated because it's going to have that destroying wind in it. All right, and then you have missiles that actually hold. You have warheads that hold multitudes of missiles. You might have 15 missiles held in one warhead, 30 missiles held in one warhead. So this is what's being had, man, and we've been talking about this for years, just to mention. So when these things come to pass, then it's going to be well known that a prophet has been among you. All right? If you can, brother, get me Jeremiah 28 and 8.
Go on. Jeremiah 28 and 8 says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Go on, verse 9.
The prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of that prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh have truly sent him.
Yeah, so right now we're not prophesying of peace, we're prophesying of water. So if war comes, then guess what? Once again, the Lord have sent that prophet. And we don't want to say that prophet. We want to say prophets too. Because the Lord set up his prophets all over the planet Earth. Yeah, so go and read, Isaiah 14. Get back to Isaiah 14.
Can't. Good example of a false prophet was Reverend Jesse Jackass, isn't it?
Yeah,
he died
Jesse Jackass Jackson. That's right. He died the other day. And there was another guy that died too. Another movie star. Yeah, some history came out about Jesse Jackson, how he was in on the assassination of Martin Luther King, man.
Shit, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I'll go into it though. I'm gonna do a sit down on it, man. This guy, I forgot the guy's name, man. He funnily enough exposed that whole situation. And there was this other guy by the name of Kyle or something. He was saying that I was around this guy, King. So then I moved. So then he basically said that he moved away so that the guy could get a clear shot. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go into it. Man. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It was this guy. I forgot the guy's name that exposed it, but also who exposed it with him was Dick Gregory. You know Dick Gregory, that old miserable grump.
Oh, is he Edomite, right?
No, he's a Jake.
No.
He's a Jake. Dick Gregory is David.
Oh, and I think it's like I'm curious. Let me look his
I think you know. Yeah, he passed away. I think a little over 10 years ago, or less.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Dick Gregory is David.
Okay, this guy.
No, not him. Let me see some real quick for the week there. He's an old Jake.
That guy. That guy. Right here, yeah. I recognize that guy, yeah. So like I went off topic.
No, that's cool.
Isaiah 14 and what, Baba Kusha?
Yeah, verse when you used that before.
I forgot that I was. Take up Proverbs against Babylon.
Verse 23.
The water for that.
God.
This is Isaiah 14:23. I'll also make it a possession for the bitten and pools of water and I'll sweep it with the besom of destruction,
Right.
saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. The Lord Yahweh of hosts have sworn, saying, surely as I have thought,
Right.
so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand.
Exactly. So shall it stand. And that is the counsel of the Lord, that Babylon will be destroyed. That's on Proverbs 19 and 21. Pull me that.
Yep.
So that's why these nations are getting all angry and stuff, and America's been doing things to extricate that anger so that the purpose of God can stand.
Proverbs 19 and 21 says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand.
And when you look at that word counsel, it's the same. It denotes of his purpose. The thoughts and the plans and the ideas and the purposes of God. So all of this stuff that we're reading to you, it's going to happen. Just because it may seem far-fetched to you or to me, it don't matter. And there's been so many different things that have came on this earth that we didn't think could come on this earth or be invented. Let me use that word instead. All right? So how much more this? And that's why the saying goes, man, what is it? Reality is stranger than fiction. Because in a fictitious world, you expect certain things to happen or not to happen. But when you live in the world of reality, now you got to live in a world that things that you didn't believe thought could happen end up happening eventually.
Yep.
You know, and so that world is more scarier. But see, what keeps us intact is the word. You know, so yeah, we can live in the realms of reality. We can be students of reality. However, we can be comforted in that because of the scripture.
God.
And we know that the Lord does all things, which makes it more comfortable, whether it be good or bad, but primarily bad things. You know, get going, brother.
I'll read it
Got
again.
some more.
No, this is the end of it. Proverbs 19:21 again. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so go get what is it? Isaiah 34 and verse 5. I tell you what, read. Oh man. Yeah, I want to get this right. I tell you what, read verse 21 again. And I'm going to read this word slaughter, right? And then you can get Isaiah 34. So yeah, read that again, Baba Bashar. Because what I wanted to do is have you read that, and then I'll go into this word, and then, you know, the Isaiah 34 joint then comes after.
Okay, Khan. So back in what I was just reading, I have to go back there, Salakia. Salakia, I've just got to go back to where I was.
Yeah.
Right, this is Proverbs 19:21 again. There are many devices in a man's heart.
No. Isaiah 14:21.
Oh, Salakia. Isaiah 14:21 again. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord.
Yeah.
I will also make it a possession for the bittern,
Right.
and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction.
Yeah, so that's how the Lord is going to slaughter the children, because they have slaughtered us. Now the word slaughter I got over here, as well as we all know what this word means. If this can make this more interesting, we're going to go into this. Slaughter from the 13th century, the killing of a person, murder, killing of large numbers of persons in battle. Mid-14th century, the killing of cattle or sheep or other animals for food. From a Scandinavian source, Atkins for Old Norse, slaughter, a butcher meat, slaughter to slaughter, mowing. So speaking of animals, right? Speaking of killing of cattle and sheep and other animals, right? Let's read Isaiah 34 now.
Go on.
Because who's going to be equivalent to the cattle and animals that would be slaughtered, metaphorically expressed? Let's read. We'll get to it.
Isaiah 34 from verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all the things that come forth of it.
Yeah.
For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies.
Right.
He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
Right. Go on.
Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
No. Isaiah 34. And
Let me see.
I'd say, well, yeah, continue to read on. You're right. I see it coming up already.
All right, so like their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Go on.
All the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth.
So the what is it? That scroll that you read about. That scroll again is going to be that wave. All that it's going to be that destroying wave or that destroying wind, which is going to come out of that father missile, whatever that bitch is going to be. All right. And what they've done is they demonstrated the power of that missile. I think that was during the time of sometime around the 20th century, where there was this missile that they tested somewhere in some island that no one dwells in. And what came out of that missile was a mushroom cloud. Go on.
Yep. All their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falling from off the vine, and as a falling fig from a fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
That's that besom of destruction. Go on.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea,
Right.
and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
So who are the Idumeans? So for white people are the Idumeans. The Edomites. That's very clear cut right now. He done revealed it, and now guess what? Now a lot of people are beginning to having to, pretty much swallow that bitter pill. So people of Edom to be exact. Go on.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of the rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Bozrah.
Right, for the Lord have a sacrifice in Bozrah. So that's who's going to get slaughtered like cattle. It's the Idumeans and all of those that want to join forces in the military power. They're all going to be destroyed. They're all going to be dissolved. So what Esau is going to consider and realize and see all together is the indignation, the undying indignation that's going to be shown to them. All right, because the Lord hates the wicked every day. All right, and as well as it is also written that He will destroy this evil, wicked kingdom from off the face of the earth. I'm roughly paraphrasing the scripture. All right, which He was referring to Jacob or the Israelites, but that also more so applies to Esau today. All right, go on.
For the Lord have a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Right.
And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and the land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust shall be made fat with fatness.
Yeah, so those animals you would use for the purpose of sacrifices for sin or for peace offering, you would even take a bull out. So they're going to do the sacrifice. People are going to do the sacrifice for a greater cause. And the greater causes is going to be that the Lord, in that, can establish a world of righteousness. And we can rule the next kingdom, which is going to be the kingdom of heaven. All right? That's going to be the greater good. The Lord is going to do a whole lot of destruction to the point of death and destruction is going to be so apparent for a greater good. That sounds weird, doesn't it? But guess what? To a spiritual minded man, that sounds reasonable.
Yep.
It's balance in the scales, because guess what? They've sinned so greatly. So now, as the Lord has it so, as it is written that the Most High is a just power, He's going to have to balance the scale. Because it was so much wrong that was done on the swords of America. And all of that has to be paid for. It can no longer be overlooked. We talking about the shit that they did in the past to our people, and the sorcery and the witchcraft that they've done all together from that time to onwards. It has to be repaid. The Lord is a just power, baby. Go on, brother.
Verse 8, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
For the controversy of Zion. There you go. That's why those things are going to happen. That's why America is going to be nuclearized. Excuse us, because it's cold out here now. So we may muffle what our words here and there. It's nippy out here, man. Go on, my brother.
And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch.
Right, and the land thereof shall become as a burning pitch. And that's what the elect saw when they got beamed up. Revelation 16:1, Baba Kushah.
Yep.
So when we was in that ship, what did we see? We saw as fire mingled with glass. So America was consumed in the flames. It almost looked like magma that America was destroyed, but it was the flames there, okay, which came out of those intercontinental ballistic missiles to overthrow that particular place, as well as it's written that the Lord has overthrown it, like as He did Sodom and Gomorrah. Go on.
Revelation 15 from verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast.
And them that have gotten the victory over the beast. And that reminds me of Psalms 91. Where
Secret place of the Lord. Secret place of the Lord.
Yeah, that too, but there's a particular verse I want you to get where it reads that we shall tread over the dragon.
Oh, right, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Psalms 91. I'll just get it. This is Psalms 91, verse 13. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon, thou shalt trample under feet.
Yeah, that's that Revelation 15. So when we're in that ship and we're seeing the overthrow, the great overthrow, let me correct myself, the great overthrow of America, which will be mingled with fire, and we're in that ship hovering over it, that's us, of course.
Go ahead.
That's what that's all about. Okay?
Back to Revelation 15?
Yeah.
Revelation 15 and 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High.
Yeah, and so what? We sung the song of Moses, which is actually Deuteronomy 32. That's what we were singing. So we were frightened and all of that stuff. Yeah, we were rejoicing, but we were also frightened, because as well as that's written that the righteous shall scarcely be saved, as well as the brother gave a beautiful testimony on that too. In the vision that he had, that he was somewhere around and he saw, I'm going to just say in the best way that I can say, he saw the missiles coming down around and all that stuff. And he, as it seemed like he wasn't going to make it, right? But then that's not what happened. So basically he saw himself, I guess, get beamed up, so to speak. He got beamed up. I mean, I didn't really watch it all the way through. I did watch it all the way through actually, but I don't really remember exactly how the brother said it. So I'm just saying it in my way. But yeah, in the vision, the brother got delivered. But the way he got delivered was scared. It was scarcely that he got delivered in that vision. So that's how the elect are going to get out of here. It's going to be by scarcely. Go on.
What piece of joint now, Salakia?
Yeah, I tell you what, since I said that, get 1 Peter 4:17 there.
Come on. 1 Peter 4:17 says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High?
And that's why we got to continue to obey the gospel of the Most High to the best of our ability, so that we can be counted as the elect unto salvation. Because when the Lord comes to exact judgment, there ain't going to be no please. No, the Lord is going to be pleasing his Father in heaven to destroy you.
Yep.
That's as far as it's gonna go. So we gotta get right when the going is good right now. All right, because right now the doors of mercy are still open, but the doors are closing.
Yep.
Go on.
And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, reminding me of another precept too, Hebrews chapter 10.
Come on.
Which orders it how does it go? The it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power.
Come on, just find it for you.
Done. I think that's 35. Hebrews 10 and 35.
31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let me read a verse up, give it context. Hebrews 10 and verse 30. Hebrews 10 and verse 30 says, For we know him that have said, Vengeance belongeth unto me, I will recompense, saith the Lord, and again the Lord shall judge his people.
Yeah.
It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power.
And you just read that in Peter too. How the Lord is gonna what? Judge first his house. So that's all of us put together. Those that claim to be prophets. We all claim to be prophets. We all claim to have received that calling, which we haven't, which that's nothing to claim, it's the truth. We have received our calling. But as well as it's written, many are called, few are chosen. And the very few are going to be occupied in the will of the Lord, although they have the name of the Lord. Okay? So that's the thing. And the best thing to know and understand is the elect will is the fear of the Lord. That's the thing that's going to get us to do this thing correct. But if you don't have the fear of the Lord in you, man, you're just going to be serving the Lord in your own way. Like the rest of these cats out here. You know, the boys in purple, the boys in black, looking like the Black Panther Party. And them guys, man, them GOCC cats, which they listen, they out of this planet Earth. There's not even no point mentioning them. But I have to, man. Go on, brother.
That's it in that precept, Hebrews 10.
Yeah, so get another precept, and the precept is Isaiah. You already had 35 already, right?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah, there's a precept that I just saw. And get the precept where it reads that the Lord has Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Okay.
That he would destroy Babylon. Something along these lines.
Is it in the New Testament?
No, it's in Jeremiah. So lucky about that. Jeremiah 49 and 18.
I've got it right on the screen here.
Oh, that's
what I was looking at, yeah. Jeremiah 49:18, it says, As the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it.
Yeah, and the neighboring cities of America, which is those 50 states, you're not going to know which one started it and which one ended. Because it's just going to be a straight up and down desert. Ain't nothing going to be there. And how did the Lord destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? He sent those brimstones to pelt those cities down. And all of those 5 cities, if I'm correct, I think you had Zidon,
Admah.
Admah,
Zora.
and Zora, and then you had Sodom and Gomorrah. That's the 5 that was pretty much done away with, annihilated by the brimstone.
Zor, Admah, Zeborim.
Yeah.
Sodom and Gomorrah. I think that's the 5.
Yeah, those are the 5. Huh. Yeah, I just said that.
Salakia.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. So that's how America's gonna be taken out. And when you think of it too, since the Obama administration, since what 2012 it was, I remember you corrected me on that because I said 2015.
So Obama came in 2009, but he made the homosexual marriage act in 2012. Yeah,
it was 2012. Since that point and onwards, they was pushing that sodomism all around the planet Earth, under the guise of their form of democracy, so to speak. And I remember you had countries like India and the likes, and other places that was that was not allowed. People were protesting about how they could become moles, and really what it was is that America sent people down there to actually fund those protests.
Yep.
To push that to push that ideology out there that look, you could be whoever you want to be. So we just bring that out to convey the point that America is that Sodom and Egypt, as prophecy put it, as John the Revelator actually saw it to be.
Yep, Revelation 11.
Revelation 11, he called it Sodom and Egypt. So because they wanted to do the deeds of Sodom and Gomorrah, right, they're going to get the Sodom and Gomorrah treatment.
Yep.
And it's going to be worse. All right, go on.
Precept Revelation 11 and 8. And the dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Right, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Now, when you look at the American, currency, I don't really remember it now.
The dollar, yeah.
The dollar, right? I mean, I know it's a dollar, but I don't remember what. I don't know if it's the dollar bill or the $5 bill. That's what I meant.
I think it's when you talk about the pyramid.
The pyramid on it.
Yeah, it's just on a single dollar bill.
Okay, it's on a single dollar bill. So, yes, you have a pyramid that's on the back of the dollar bill, and then you have obelisks all around America, which was sent from Egypt. Okay, so America has taken on Egypt, and as well as has taken on the very thing that destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah greatly, and promoted that way all around the planet Earth by paying people off from country to country to promote that nonsense, that shenanigans, the odious works of wickedness. So now they're gonna get what? They're gonna get the treatment, same treatment that Sodom and Gomorrah got. That's all.
Yep. Finished on Revelation 11 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah, so go back to what you had before.
Which was what, forgive me?
Jeremiah 49 and 18.
Can't. Jeremiah 49 and 18 again says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it.
Yeah, so that's in what? That's in Isaiah 13. It's in Isaiah 34. And that's that. And then now it mentions it again. So again, the case is true that the Lord's counsel will have to stand on this. That old daughter of Babylon, America, will be destroyed, will be annihilated. No more. It's going to be right towards the dust. That's why it reads, come down and sit in the dust, O daughter. All right? O daughter of the Chaldees. And by the way, the Chaldees, they were experts at astrology and astronomy and all that stuff. And you had this woman, her name is Angeline, if I'm correct. She was the one that brought that knowledge to the forefront, and you had other astrologers becoming of that. You know? So yeah, America's like Babylon. That's all I got with that, brother. Yeah, you can read verse 19 as well.
Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of the Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her.
Yeah, read that one more time, Baba Kusham.
Jeremiah 49:19 again.
Yep.
Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong.
Yeah, and that's talking about Yahweh Shai. Remember in Revelation 5:5, right? That he was what known as the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Because the Lord of this time around, he came as a lamb 2,000 years ago. Yeah. But this time he's going to come as the lion. Because what does a lion do? A lion is prey to there's nothing left of it, so there's bone. So when Esau sees that the alien invasion, as well as they're going to call it, right? Do that alien invasion. Listen, the Lord is going to tear these devils to smithereens, man. Just like a lion tears his prey. Go on.
All right, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her, who is a chosen man, that I may appoint over her. For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time?
Right.
And who is that shepherd that will stand before me?
You can't appoint the time of the Lord, because guess what? As well as that's because you have these end of the world cats out here bringing out a period of time. Oh yeah, well the Lord is going to come in December of 25th. 2026 or something along those lines. Whatever date that these people give, these false prophets give. You know, you can't appoint the time towards the Lord. The Lord is going to come as a thief in the night, as that's written, and as that's written too. Something else that's written to like about that. How does it go?
No man knoweth the day or the hour.
There you go. That's all we got. You got it, my brother.
Oh, do you want me to read that?
Yeah.
Okay, come on. I think it's in 2 Peter, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. No, that's on Matthew 24.
Oh, right. 24, yeah. Go on.
Excuse me. Still a little bit under the weather, but I'm getting better.
This is
I'm not. What is it? I'm 99.93%. Well,
this is Matthew 24 from verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of the day and of the hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
that's right.
For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Absolutely. So the Lord is going to come as what? A thief in the night. He ain't going to tell you when he's going to come. You ain't going to be able to point no time for the Lord when he's going to come. It's impossible. So yeah, hit me back. Hit me with that same precept again. Jeremiah 48 verse 49. Not 40, 49. 48 verse 19.
Khan. Jeremiah 48 and 19 again says, is this the one? That's not the one. Oh, inhabitant of
I think it's 40. Yeah, 49. So like
49 and 18.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 49 and 18 says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it.
19.
Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of the Jordan, against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will I appoint me? And who will appoint me at the time?
Right.
And who is that shepherd that will stand before me?
Right. Who's that shepherd that's going to stand before the Messiah? Listen, the scripture says, right, that the multitude came towards him, and yet there's fight. And in that verse, I'm referring to 2 Ezra 13, where it reads that they were afraid, they were frightened. They didn't want to stand in the way of the Messiah. As a matter of fact, let's go into it.
2 Ezra 13 from verse 1.
And
you
can break it down, by the way.
Okay, Khan. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. So that man that waxed strong is talking about Yahweh Shai, and the thousand of heaven is talking about when he comes with those chariots, which is the multitude of angels, including Michael, who's going to be with him. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. That's talking about the laser beams, because you've got to remember, at that time, Ezra's only had the terminology that he had. He didn't have this modern day vocabulary where we could say, oh yeah, laser beams and stuff. So he just described it as a sound went out and basically all of the enemies burned with fire. So that's the laser blast. Where was I? Verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there is gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. Now that's all the nations. They're going to stop fighting against each other, and they're going to try and unite their forces to fight against Yahushua, which reminds me of that video clip which we always reference, where Ronald Reagan was giving that speech where he said,
I think it was in 1984. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I was still a little boy back then, but Ronald Reagan was saying, what if there was some extraterrestrial threat? Don't you think we would all come together? So that's basically what the nations are going to do. When Yahushua comes, they're all going to turn and try and fight him, but they're going to be afraid, as it says here. After this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. And this is a beautiful thing as well, because this is going to be the Most High giving Yahushua his opportunity to demonstrate his power. Because the scriptures say, all they that would not have me reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me. Right? Verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had raised himself a great mountain and flew upon it, being a chariot. But where I would have seen the regional place whereat the hill was graven, I could not. So the chariot's going to be so huge, like you're not going to be able to see the beginning or end of it.
And really what Ezra was saying is the fact that he couldn't tell the difference whether it was a mountain or some ship. You know, so he saw it from that. If you can read it again, Baba Kushah.
But I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it.
Go on.
But I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not.
Yeah, he could not, because it was ginormous. Go on.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid.
When he saw the ship was like this major mountain. So he thought it was a mountain at first, but then when it was moving and all of that, as he envisioned, he saw all of these various forces, which ties into Revelation, the 12th chapter, the war in heaven, going up against this great ship. All right, that's the best way I could put it. Go on.
Yeah, it's like in the scene in Independence Day.
Yeah.
After the chariot shoot their lasers, Will Smith.
Yep.
And the ship's trying to fight the giant father ship. Straight out of the scriptures, man.
Yeah.
But it says verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword or any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue cast he out sparks and tempests.
Yeah, like he was going into that concentrated fire that was blazing. So he was shooting all of that out towards these forces, the forces of the dragon, so to speak. And that's how their host dissolved into powder. And that was nothing more. And that was basically what was left of them. Nothing more than pillars of smoke and blood.
Verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude that was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. And when I saw this, I was afraid.
Yeah. So what he saw that the governments around the world, as well as you mentioned about Ronald Reagan, he saw these various jet fighter planes trying to fight the Messiah. Because this is how you know that the Messiah is going to make a second return in this generation. And the way he's going to return in the generation is alien-like, meaning strange. That's why they've made us watch these films like E.T., all that stuff, which stands for, extraterrestrial. There's extraterrestrial entities are going to intervene into this realm. And as well as they read the scriptures, they know that when the Lord comes back, he's coming to destroy the things greatly. So when they've made these films throughout the years, what they were really doing was what? It was giving you an idea of what the future was going to be, coined as a means such as predictive programming. Okay? So even the elites know, the JOO wishes, they've all that a miraculous scenery not a miraculous scenery, but a phenomenon, a great phenomenon that's going to supersede the phenomenons which have taken place time prior. It's going to come in this generation, and in those things we're going to be greatly delivered from the Lord. So when the Lord comes back and shows his undying power, which is going to be the right hand of the Father, with all of that being said, he's going to show once again that he is the power of his people, that he have loved his people.
Yep.
Okay. And all of these nations can no more, never again shit on us.
Yep.
All right. They're gonna have to respect us now. Hey, you got a collab.
Hang on. I'm just going to put a piece up there.
Woo.
Right, so I'm going to bring this piece out. This is and it shall come to pass. This is Isaiah 10 and 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, such as are escaped of the house of Jacob,
Right.
shall no more again stay upon him that smote them,
Yep.
but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth.
That's right. So when Yahweh Shah comes back, the new thing is going to be the ways of the Lord, and we're going to stay upon the Lord. And then you're going to have who? David the king, which is going to come back. You know, David our king is going to be in the position of power. You're going to have the 12, and then you're going to have Yahweh Shah up. You know. So that's what's getting ready to go down, man. But this society is going to come down in the most greatest fashion that was never told or never seen on the earth.
Yep.
And it's going to be miraculous. Our salvation is going to be super miraculous. It's going to be strange. You know? Yeah, so there's a few more precepts that I have, and then we're going to close this thing out.
Khan.
Because I think he's been here long enough now. Go back to what you had before.
Which, just forgive me, remind me.
Yeah,
which was
Jeremiah 49 and 19.
Khan. Jeremiah 49 verse 19 again says, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of the Jordan against the habitation of the strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her?
Right.
For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time?
Absolutely.
And who is that shepherd that will stand before me?
And who is that shepherd? And you just read it. We just read it to you in 2 Ezra 13.
Yep.
When these nations get close to the Messiah face to face, they're going to be scared to death. All right, they're going to be shit. They're going to be shitting themselves. All right, they're going to be farting and doing all kind of shit, man. You know how the body acts when the body's in the super fit.
Yep.
They're going to be doing all of that, man.
They're going to be filling the adrenochrome.
They're going to be filling the adrenochrome. Absolutely. Go on, brother.
Do you want to go into verse 20?
Yeah.
Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman.
Right, and the inhabitants of Teman. And you see something real quick. Hopefully it's still hot spot. Yeah, it's hot spot. Okay, it's cool. It's all right. Yeah, go on.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Yeah, that's those Israelis. The Israelis are gonna force the hand of America to hit Iran. That's why you keep hearing news about that. How Israel wants to push America to go attack Iran. So once Iran is attacked by America, now Israel can intervene and do what they gotta do, but not realizing that Russia does business with Iran. Okay, so when you fuck with a man's business, now he gotta handle his business, don't he?
Yep.
You see? So it ain't going to be easy, and that's why they're this is the reason why they're being so diplomatic in their approach. Because if one little thing could trigger a whole another wave of opportunities of other shit. All right, gotta tread carefully, man. But we know how this is going to end any doggone way, so it's all good. Yep, they can take as much time as they want, because guess what? They're being timed by the Heavenly Father.
Yeah, time's on our side, not Esau's side.
That's right.
We've been patient all this time.
Yeah.
But with each passing day, like if you look at this, so like I'm talking about.
No, you got it.
If you look at every day that's transpired since 2026 has begun, we're in the middle of February now. Yeah. Every day something else has been happened to undermine Esau's kingdom, or to bring it down one peg further.
Yep.
And this is only what, a month and a half into 2026, man. This guy is going down bad.
And he's going down fast too. The way it's looking out here. Go on, brother. You got it.
This is back in Jeremiah 49. I've come off
I
the
think it's
point.
in verse 20 you was in.
The water. Verse 20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he'll make their habitations desolate with them.
Yeah, and I think if I'm correct, and if you could correct me if I'm wrong on your phone, right?
Yep.
That's why they're down there in the Strait of Hormuz right now. Some news got out about that.
Hamuz. H-A-M-U-Z.
Yeah, the way you spell it is what is it? S-T-R.
Straight.
Yeah, like straight.
Or
Not like straight.
S-T-R-A-I-T.
That's it. That's it. And Hormuz is H-U-R-M-U-Z.
Yep, it's come up. It's this area here on the map.
No, what's the news? Give me the news.
Okay. Oh, Iran. 22 hours ago from the Telegraph. Iran closes Strait of Hormuz amidst U.S. military buildup. There you go. Blockade for live fire drills comes as Ali Khamenei threatens to send Trump's aircraft carrier to the bottom of the sea. Wow, that's a heavy threat.
Yeah, so it's getting thick. It's getting thick in the east. And that's what we gotta kind of focus on. Not kind of, but that's what we gotta focus on. Is that's where the valley of Jehoshaphat is close to. Which we know the valley of Jehoshaphat is in Israel, to be exact, right? But that's where we gotta keep our eyes open at, because everything begins and ends right there, and then it's gonna proliferate to America.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, so go back to what you was at before.
Khan, this is back in Jeremiah 49:21. The earth is moved.
So we can even include what we just read, just briefly on the news, because I wanted to make sure that I was right. So the brother read that. But we can include what the brother read to the least of the flock drawing them out.
I'll read that again, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he will make their habitations desolate with them.
Yeah, and we know that because we've read the scripture. What is it? Isaiah 13. We've read. What is it? Isaiah 34. Jeremiah 49 now. So all of these scriptures, which are nothing more than several cases which reconfirms the truth of the counsel of the Lord, which will be that America will be totally annihilated. All right, and when you look at America right now, man, more realistically, economically, America's just fucking out of it.
Yep, finished.
What you can do right now with America is almost stick a fork. It's done. You know, that's where it's at right now. Like America used to be proud, make everybody wanted to be like it. All nations wanted to be like it, man. People were looking at America as this
Land of the free, home of the brave.
and a place of goodwill, a place of Christian values, and all of this shenanigans. Now it's a totally different spirit now. The most out of the script is out.
Yep.
And now the real truth is being shown of how corrupt America is, even the rest of the world. Especially through these e-files, man.
Yep.
We here, baby boy, and I mean, you know what too? Hey man, me and the brother over here, we loving the shit out. We loving the hell out of it.
Yeah, relishing every second of it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally, man. God, dog. Yeah, so yeah, just finish that off, and I think that's it, man.
All right, Khan. So it says, I'll read it one more time. Therefore, actually, was I reading 21? The earth is moved at the noise of their fall.
Yeah.
At the cry of the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea.
I tell you what, with that, give me Revelation 18.
Yep.
And verse 10.
Khan. Revelation 18 verse 10 says, standing up. Let's read from verse 8, if I may.
Yeah, you got it.
Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her.
Right.
And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning,
Right.
standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
Yeah, so all of the nations that have done great with America, doing business with America, they're gonna be very upset. They're gonna be messed up, bro, because it's like because of America, especially China. Let's just focus on China, right? Because by 2001, China have always kind of done business with America since if I'm correct, since the 1980s, the early 1980s. That's when they started. If you can pull that out for me.
Manufacturing in China, yeah?
Yeah, when did China start doing business with America?
Okay, can't.
Because what I did was I checked out when that was the case, and I don't really remember now. But since 2001, that's when China really became abundantly successful from that point. That's when they became the sweatshop towards America, and they was doing very well from that point. So when America's destroyed, you see right now, America's very not America, but China and China especially is very proud against America. So their level of pride is going to lead to them doing the things that they need to do to defend themselves, and of course, so-called defending themselves, but pretty much hitting America right along with Russia. All right, and pretty much when America's done, the gravy train is going to be done for all of the nations, but primarily the nation of China. All right.
Yeah, you're right. It says normalization. There's different eras.
Yeah, different eras.
But the most recent one is normalization, 1979 to 1980. In 1979, the United States and China formally re-established diplomatic relations and signed a trade agreement.
Right, and signed it. So that's when again that's when China became one that started to do deals with America, to send off their goods to America since 1980. That's why I was getting it. 1980 it was. But in what is it? 21 years later, they became greatly successful.
Yep.
All right. So really, the money get up for China was always America. So when we read Revelations 18 and 5 again,
Khan.
where it reads the nation stood afar off, right?
Yeah, this is Revelation 18 and 9 actually.
Yeah.
And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Because that means that now they're going to result to being poor. The essence of why they became rich was to do with America. We can even speak on Japan. How many products has Japan have made for America in other countries? All right, and the thing with America, as well as I used to live there, as you can tell by the sound of my voice, right? I remember, man, years ago, just sitting down watching TV from time to time, right? As well as you do. You go home, you come home from school, you come home from wherever you go, mess around with your friends, and you go sit down and you chill out at the house. You watch a program, and all of a sudden, every single time you will see a commercial selling you all kind of stuff, man. Because America has been that land of commerce and stuff.
Consumer nation.
There you go. A nation of consumerism. There you go. Right? So I remember them years, man. I remember seeing a commercial after commercial after commercial. Because America is that consumerist is a consumerist based nation. So let's just say you in China, right? And let's just say you're a Chinese man and you got some kind of business in America by maybe let's just say by 5%. 1%, 5%, you in the money already. That's how lucrative America was towards primarily the people of China. You could be in the UK, you could have a business. You could be in the UK doing business with America, and you're in business. All right. All you need is like a little plant. You don't need a big plant. All you need is like a little plant, and you have all of your goods that you sell to the American people, and you win the money straight like that. It was easy back in those days. Due to what DJ Trump is doing with these tariffs, which is nothing more than a tax on the American people, now it's much more difficult to do business.
Yep.
Okay, but the point is that these nations have lived deliciously because of America. And that's why the nations are going to devour America, because the gravy train is going to be no more.
Shall I read it?
Yeah.
Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn for her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more.
Absolutely.
The merchandise of gold and silver, and of precious stones, and of pearls, and of fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all pine and wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of precious woods, and of brass, and of iron, and of marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, cars, and slaves, and souls of men.
Right. And just the Epstein file.
There you go.
Souls and slaves, what is it?
Slaves. Yeah. Deep.
So there you go. So that's really what it was all about, was the nations. That's why they were able to that's what the bank, the way they was able to do that, and to keep their come on. Now what happened? Now all of these nations become rich above all of these nations. And we're gonna take the little that they have, and it's gonna be given unto us. Point blank in the story. So our time is upon us, brothers. And your sisters out there too. So with that, we want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son,
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash.
and double honors to the outer apostles of the great known stone, as well as to salute to all, saluting the, not saluting, but also the bishops, the elder bishops, and saluting all of you brothers out there. And yeah, as well as we believe the 144,000 as well, and the 1/3, and with that, we're going to close this one. Go over to Mr.
Shalom.